Tuesday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. I am your host, Tom Smith. I'm coming to you live from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio, just outside the food court entrance to the Paddock Mall in the Brick City Beautiful, Ocala, Florida. Woke up this morning, walked outside. The garbage can was knocked over by the wind, so I had to pick that up. The sheets that I'd put on the trees, the bushes outside that I had to keep covered, they had blown off, so I had to fix that. And woke up to 36 degrees, 35 degrees actually at the house with 10-mile-an-hour winds. I don't know how cold it was, Galen, you know, but it was cold enough that I'm not happy.
Yeah, man, it was like, what, in the mid-30s, so.
But that wind, the wind, wow.
Oh, it was brutal. I'm like, anybody who's outside now is crazy.
You know who I feel for are the, as I was driving in this morning, the high school kids that are on the side of the road waiting for the school bus to come pick them up.
Ooh. Well, the wind has died down a little bit, but, yesterday, you could just feel it. It was fine outside until that wind hit you, and then you just wanted to curl up into a little ball.
Well, I'm watching the trees here at the mall, and the palm trees are rustling pretty good from the wind right now here at the mall.
All right. All right. Yeah, interstate hard to tell.
Yeah, it's a little ugly here at the mall with the wind still, but it is February 2nd, the dumbest day, one of the dumbest festivals ever in my estimation is going on as we speak. As we speak, they're getting the rodent out of his burrow or wherever the hell they keep him. Nobody in attendance today. It's all going to be streamed live. Nobody in attendance. Right. Nobody allowed to be there. It's all going to be streamed live on groundhog.org.
Do you find it shocking how accurate he is?
Do you know how accurate he is since 1887?
I don't know. How? I'm just surprised.
41%.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
almost half the time.
50%.
Yeah, almost half the time this rodent gets it right.
His guess would be 50%, right?
100% you could. A weatherman, if a weatherman's right 35, 40% of the time, he's a national weatherman, working for the Today Show or something.
It's true.
He's as accurate as it. So what's that tell you about the guys that get degrees in meteorology? What's that tell you about them?
Just they're C students. That's what it tells you.
Yeah, just leave it up to a rodent. He could do just as good.
That's correct.
So the Northeast, crazy. In the middle of a bad nor'easter, can get the second day. It snowed all day yesterday, snowing all day today. Upwards of 3 foot of snow in some areas of Pennsylvania and New York, and they're looking for more. That's why we live in Florida. That's all I'm trying to tell you, folks.
That's exactly right.
Move out of the blue states of Pennsylvania and Florida, and come become a Republican and move to the red state of Florida. That's all I'm telling you.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, New York had 11 inches.
Some spots in New York City had 11 inches. Some spots in New York are over 30 inches already, and it's going to snow all day today.
Ooh.
Here's the trade-out. Stay up in New York and stay, liberal, but deal with the weather, or get great weather and sacrifice your liberalism to become a conservative. I'm okay with it.
You're just saying you can come down, just leave your politics at the border.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and your taxes and
yeah. Think about though, we go back to the Groundhog Day and how this weather's going and everything. With the groundhog coming out, does he see his shadow? Does he not see his shadow? Is it 6 more weeks of winter? Is it not 6 more weeks of winter? A nor'easter that's just destroying the Northeast right now, cold all the way across the country, and somehow, somewhere, somebody will tell me it's because of global warming. I just don't understand that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. I understand we are in the middle of a warming of the globe. I understand that. It's called coming out of an ice age. The Earth has done it 4 times before, according to science. We're melting. It happens. That's what happens when you experience an ice age and then you come out of an ice age. Things melt. We get that. I don't understand how you politicize. We're melting. We get that. We're at the end of an ice age. Guess what's going to happen in the next 100,000, 200,000 years? The Earth's going to freeze again and start the whole process all over again.
It's hard, the whole global warming thing. It's just like, okay, whatever happens, it seems to prove their belief that global warming is happening.
100%. And global warming is happening because we're coming out of an ice age. But it's not because of cars. It's not because of factories. It's not because of, pollution. It's because we're coming out of an ice age.
Yeah.
Do you know one volcanic eruption puts as much carbon dioxide and bad gases into the atmosphere, one volcanic eruption, than a year worth of cars in the United States?
Absolutely. Like, look at Mount Pontotumbo that erupted from the Philippines. There was a layer in the ozone for like 18 months or something.
Right. But don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, Galen.
If it's gonna, always take advantage of every situation that taxes more.
Oh, every chance you can get. Every chance you can get. Oh, the pipeline. Yeah, because those big black metal tubes that are going down railroad tracks look so much more safer.
Well, and the trucks and the ships and that, you would think as an environmentalist you would want that. I mean,
ask the people in Valdez. Ask the people in Valdez. Ask the people of the Exxon Valdez up in the Alaska area. The people that had to live through the Exxon Valdez. Ask them if they would rather have a pipeline than a tanker ship full of oil come through.
Sure. Yeah, exactly right.
Ask the good folks. Anywhere there's been a bad oil spill, ask them if they would rather have the the ships and the trucks, or would they rather have a pipeline?
Absolutely.
But don't ask the caribou.
No-brainer.
Don't ask the caribou. They'll tell you they don't want a pipeline.
Well, they're not even impacted after they go away for, let's say, a year, and then they come back. It's
oh wait, hold on. You mean because the thing's underground, and so the grass and all grows back, and the trees and everything? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Galen.
Yeah.
Galen, I already told you. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Now don't let common sense get in the way of a good story.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Hey, let's talk about something that doesn't aggravate us. Actually, let's take a break real quick, and then we'll talk about something that doesn't aggravate us, the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that next. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. Galen Unall from Life South, brought to you by Palm Garden. We'd like to thank Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions about how Palm Garden is handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call. 352-854-6262. That's 352-854-6262.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. Galen Unall from Life South joins us on the phone lines as he does every day, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Galen, the Super Bowl is this Sunday in Tampa, Florida. Rob Gronkowski announced yesterday in a series of Zoom calls to frontline health workers from Advent Health and the Moffitt Center that they will be getting tickets to the game on Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, I've made some calls. I've got some friends in both of those facilities, and we'll see what happens.
Pretty good deal though, to offer that to some frontline healthcare workers.
He's a good dude by all accounts. I mean, he just seems like a really, really good dude. The thing I thought was funny is that the Bucs wanted proof that he had been working out.
Yeah.
So he went out and ran sprints and just changed clothes, filmed it all in one day, and then sent him a different video of him in different clothes each day. I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, that's pretty good.
You know,
you get away with that if you're arguably the greatest tight end of all time.
He may be the smartest person in the NFL right now, and I'll tell you why. Rob Gronkowski made $125 million with the New England Patriots. Okay, over his career with the Patriots, he made $125 million on his contract with the Patriots. This year with the Bucs, he's making another, I think it's $5-6 million with the Bucs he's making this year. But Rob Gronkowski also does the Tide Pod commercials, if you remember. And he done a lot of commercials up in the Boston area for car lots and stuff like that. He's done a
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. He's done a Razor commercial. He's done a lot of commercials.
Right.
Do you know he's never spent one dime of his NFL contract money? He's lived just off of his endorsement contracts because he makes $5 to $6 million a year in endorsements. He's sitting now on a nest egg of about $135 million that he invested. Rough estimates, and there's no way to know totally because he doesn't have to give you his taxing. Rough estimates say that Rob Gronkowski's worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 million now. And that's through investing his NFL checks and never spending them. That's the smartest guy in the NFL.
He, when he comes across as such a lunkhead, and I think he's doing it the right way. And I wasn't surprised at all that he retired 2 years ago. You know, he had missed more games than he had played. But this year, he's done exactly what the Bucs needed. He's just a great blocking tight end. And then he can make a great play when needed.
Yes.
And it'd be hard pressed when you look at he had 5 years where he was uncoverable. And he's not you can look at Gates and Gonzalez, and I think those are both compilers. But I think Rob Gronkowski is the best tight end to ever play the game.
I would have said if Tony Gonzalez had quit after Kansas City, that Tony Gonzalez was probably the greatest ever. But I think you're entirely correct. When he moved over to the Falcons and then he stayed longer than he should have, and it felt like he did it just so he could catch footballs and boost his own stats and everything. And I'm saying this as a Falcon fan. I believe Tony Gonzalez hurt his legacy with staying probably, in my estimation, 2 years longer than he should have. So I think you're right. I think Rob Gronkowski is probably the best player to play the team. Although, you got to remember the guy that set the bar for the two guys that set the bar. And I know it was different eras, but you got to go back and look at Ditka transformed the tight end position from an offensive lineman to an actual offensive weapon. And then Dave Casper took it almost to where he had wide receiver abilities as well as tight end abilities. So, and I know people want to say that.
Well, Dave Casper is the modern day Kelsey.
Right. Yeah.
If you're going to do,
exactly.
He was more of a flanker. He was even listed as a flanker for several seasons.
Right. Exactly.
So, he's Kelsey. He would have been a slot receiver in today's game.
I know everybody wants to talk about the guy from Dallas, and why is his name slipping? Why is his name slipping me? Yeah, Witten, Jason Witten.
He retired yesterday.
Right, but I just think Rob Gronkowski is probably Ditka Dick reinvented the position, and Rob Gronkowski is just taking it. Because Rob Gronkowski does it, what Tony Gonzalez and what Kelsey did. Rob Gronkowski actually blocks like a tight end should as well. And that's one of the things that they don't do anymore in the NFL. Tight ends are not huge blockers anymore in the NFL, but Rob Gronkowski can block for the run, he can pass block, and he can catch a ball down the seam as good as a wide receiver.
I agree with that. And he could be the X factor in this Super Bowl. I'm just, when you look at the matchups, it's a struggle to find a way that the Bucs can stop that Kansas City Chiefs offense. It just is.
It's a struggle.
We'll see.
Hey,
we'll see.
You said Rob Gronkowski has played his whole career when people think he's a lunkhead and everything. I did radio with a bunch of years with a guy who he's done pretty good with people thinking he was a dumb guy. I mean, he was a quarterback in the NFL, but he's done pretty good with the I'm a dumb guy from Louisiana shtick too. What'd you say?
I guess, yeah. I mean, Bradshaw had arguably the most talented football teams in the history of the NFL.
The history of the NFL. He had to throw for 170 plus yards a game for them to win.
Correct. And granted, different time, but you look at all the Hall of Famers on those teams, and that defense was unstoppable. No free agency. He knew exactly what Swan and Stallworth were going to do. If you compare him to the era, Roger Staubach was a far better quarterback.
Oh, 100%.
That's not deniable.
Kenny Stabler, I think, was a better quarterback.
I agree with that. I mean, the blonde bomber had the luxury of playing on the greatest team of all time.
And he could throw.
I think the 78 team was better than the 1970 Dolphins.
Galen, stop. As much as I hate the 72 Dolphins, until somebody else has a zero in the loss column and a Super Bowl trophy, they're the greatest team ever to play in the NFL.
Well, all right, and I understand that. I think if you line those two teams up, the Steelers beat them 4 out of 5 times. How about that?
I think if you're going to go that way, the 1985 Bears don't lose to anybody. They lost to the Dolphins.
That's not true. I think the Steelers beat that Bears team.
No, that defense wouldn't have allowed John Stallworth and Lynn Swan off the line of scrimmage without knocking their head off. And Franco Harris would have got beat up.
The one thing they struggled with was a big physical running back like Franco Harris. So that's all. I mean, it's fun to talk about.
It is fun to talk about.
But I just think that 78 Steelers team was the best of all time.
Yeah, and you
look at that offensive line. You look at every single piece of that Steelers team was good.
Yeah, but you also probably think Charlie Ward's Florida State team was the best team of all time too. And so okay, what's that say about you?
No.
Oh, Chris Winky's Florida State team? Okay. Oh, whatever.
No.
Whatever.
No, I haven't thought about that one in a long time. You have to go back to the Oklahoma days, though. I think
the
they were running.
The 2001 Miami team may be the best team.
Yeah, they were pretty. They were pretty great. And again, if the running back doesn't blow out his knee, they win that. They win 2 in a row.
Exactly, and think about all the NFL guys that were on that team. It's just
ridiculous.
That Miami team.
It's just the coaching wasn't as great.
No, it was not.
I understand.
Hey, I gotta ask you this. So you said that you've got a couple calls in to people at the Moffitt Center and to Advent Health to see if there may be a chance you get to partner with them to go to this game. There's always the secondary market, and it's down this year. The secondary market for Super Bowl tickets, and these are the nosebleed seats. These aren't the good seats. These are the nosebleed seats. Down $700 from last year's KC San Francisco game.
I'm sure.
And that's with 2 marquee matchups, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. One of the teams is a home team for the first time ever. And the tickets, secondary market right now, $5,936. That's down from $6,703 last year.
It'll go back up. I mean, I think those local fans will start getting more and more into it. They only have 20,000 to sell. They'll move those, and I think they'll sell them for a higher price. I mean, I've been to 2 Super Bowls. I don't really. It's better to watch it on TV.
100%, it's better to watch it on TV. 100%.
And the 3 national championship games, it's better on TV.
Better. I've been to 1 national championship game in the stands, the 1996 game that nobody knew at the time was a national championship game. But no, we did know, but we didn't know going into it was going to be a national championship game. But then Jake Plummer beats Ohio State, and then 52-20, Florida beats Florida State and wins the national championship. I went to that game.
Right.
Terrible football game to watch because I was up.
Do you remember who they played? Do you remember who Florida State played in that game?
Florida.
Oh. So you're saying Florida State beat Florida?
No. Florida State lost 52-20 in 1996 to lose to Florida.
I know.
Yeah, I know you know.
That game.
That's the only national championship game.
Was I on the sideline of that game? I was on the sidelines for that game.
That's
Which
the only
game was that one? Was that the that wasn't the Noah Brandeis game, was it?
No. Sugar Bowl, Danny Werfel. Jaquez Green catches the ball, stops on a dime.
Yes. Yeah, I was at that game. Yeah, the 5th quarter.
Yeah. I was
on Radio Row that whole week. I got food poisoning.
I was in the stands for that game. So the only national championship game I've ever been in the stands for.
Well,
now, I've been on the sideline for 3 national championship games, and on the field for 3 national championship games, and went 2-1. By the way, just so you know. Went 2-1.
Well, obviously you're not the answer. I mean, you were probably at that game that I think they just got scored on again. So.
I wasn't at the 95 game. So
in Arizona.
And I've only been to 2 Super Bowls, just like you. I was in Jacksonville and Atlanta.
I went to the 2 in Atlanta.
Yeah, I went to Atlanta and Jacksonville. Jacksonville was an easy ticket for me. I just called Rick Hazuri, who's one of my best buddies growing up. His brother Tommy Hazuri was mayor of Jacksonville, so that was an easy ticket for me to get.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I was at the maybe one of my favorite football games of all time was the Florida State-Nebraska game where C. Ward won the national title.
And then did the right thing and went and had a stellar career in the NBA.
Just a great guy.
He really is a great
guy.
Charlie Ward really is a good guy from Thomasville, Georgia, by the way. Great guy. Hey,
sure, absolutely.
Have you the one ticket that I've been to a number of times that people say is the hardest ticket in sports to get, but I wouldn't know it. Have you been to the Masters before?
No, you never offered. I've never been. Nobody's ever. I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm gonna hook you up with tickets to the Masters." Nobody ever comes through though.
We took 2 listeners in 2012 right here.
I know. You talk about it all the time. All the time.
Just saying. Maybe.
I wasn't eligible.
No, you were not eligible. Hey, speaking of eligibility, where am I eligible to go give blood at today?
Hey, look at you, Mr. Segway. Today we're back out at the Shores Walmart, so please come by and see us there. And as always, we're on the Boulevard. Check us out at lifesouth.org, 622-3544. Call us.
Thanks, Galen. Galen Unall from Life South. Joining us, he does every day.
Right.
Every day. Thanks, Guy.
All right, be good. Bye.
Galen Unall joins us as he does every day. We'll be right back at this timeout, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. Pride.
With over 1,600 airline flights canceled on Monday because of winter storms, at least 500 flights will be canceled Tuesday. The storm that's been pelting the northeast will continue to cause problems this week. The densely populated Interstate 95 corridor will see snow problems. Cities like Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, all dealing with power outages and shut down vaccination sites throughout the region. Puxatawny Phil, the world's most famous groundhog, will be coaxed from his burrow in western Pennsylvania early Tuesday. The forecast for Tuesday morning while Phil is making his prediction calls for snow showers and temperatures in the mid-20s. Phil has only been correct about 40% of the time since 1887. 44-year-old Dustin Diamond, who played the role of Screech on the popular 1990s comedy Saved by the Bell, died Monday after a recent cancer diagnosis. His manager said he was diagnosed with this brutal, relentless form of malignant cancer only 3 weeks ago. This is USA Radio News.
The following is a paid announcement. The advertiser was paid a marketing fee for a digital campaign. Please make sure to review our disclaimer on our report page.
The new year is here, and the time is now to capitalize on the gold stocks boom in the U.S. markets. Here's just one example of what you can get with the free subscription from Avid Market Highlights Report. With gold prices hitting new highs in 2020, investors are just beginning to push into junior gold miner stocks. And we want to send you research that can position you to win with this red-hot gold stock opportunity in the market. Text WIN to 48542 for more info on gold miner investment opportunities now. With your free subscription to Market Highlights Report, text the word WIN to 48542 and have this red-hot intelligence delivered directly to your mobile device so you can make decisions as market conditions change. If you're interested in our hit list of the winningest stocks to look at in 2021, then text the word WIN to 48542. Text WIN to 48542 and don't get left behind in 2021.